Om Jai Jai Sai Ma, everyone. I look around and I see you. Don't you just love this thing? It's like the Brady Bunch. Oh, yeah. Heather would be, what's that lady? Madge. Madge, is that the person? You should be in the middle, Heather, right? So I invite you to if you're new to Zoom, I know some of you aren't, but click around and look at everybody's faces. And those of you who aren't might be home in your pajamas on the East Coast, just put your video on anyway. We don't care. Let us see your faces, your eyes, your light. Just bathe in the joy of being together, of having each other to share this path. Oh, I'm seeing some people I haven't seen in a long time. Oh, sweet, sweet. I could do this all day. So let's take a moment and take a breath, deep, deep breath together. Your back is straight, your chin's down a little bit, your spine's straight. Take a deep breath for your body. Allow your crown chakra to open even more. Allow the light from your I am presence, higher self, all that is, I am that I am. Allow this light to pour in through the crown and move into your brain. Allow it to move between the left hemisphere and the right hemisphere. Imagine it moving in a figure 8 movement. Allowing this light to balance the hemispheres. Pouring light into each hemisphere at your own pace. Now move this light deep, deep into the middle part of the brain, the limbic brain, where all the fears are stored. Your fight, flight, or freeze section of the brain, and pour light into there. Activate the light in there. This is the part of the brain that sends the signal to the rest of the brain. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Pour light in there. Activate the violet flame in your brain. Allowing the violet flame to transmute any fear that's in your limbic brain. Balance up your hemispheres. And bringing your attention to your first eye, between your eyebrows. Activate the light in your first eye. Allowing your first eye to become clearer and clearer with vision. The vision of why you're here, why you incarnated at this particular time on this planet. Activate vision for yourself, clarity. Now bringing this light down to the throat, activating authenticity for you. You speak your truth. This is working for me. This is not working for me. You say yes, you say no. Truth. And then with another Deep, deep breath. Bring this light down into your heart and feel as your heart expands. You activate compassion, especially compassion for yourself, for what you're personally going through right now. And then compassion for others. And in your heart, activate gratitude. Gratitude. You have a living master in your world. You have knowledge of what's happening. You have a living example of how to respond and what's possible for each and every one of us. Gratitude. With another deep breath, bring this light down to your solar plexus, the navel, around the navel area. Activate courage. Courage. Strength, power. Your power center in your body. Courage to be the strong leader that you are. Moving down to the second chakra with another deep, deep breath. Activate your creativity and your passion. Your creativity to think outside the box. Your creativity to create and create and create anew. And then with another deep breath, bring this light all the way down to the base of the spine. Activate trust and safety on this planet. With another deep, deep breath, bring this light down your legs, out the soles of your feet, all the way down to the core of Mother Earth. And I invite you to find your footprints there that are only meant for you, and step into them. Fully incarnate, fully be here on planet Earth. Mother Gaia. I'm here, Mother Gaia. You might even imagine yourself, as Ma said, we signed our name, and with your hand maybe in the air, write your name again, your birth name. Sign in. I am here. I am here to serve. I am here to take my role in the grand design. Feel that you are the vehicle. Know that you are the vehicle of bringing heaven to earth and anchoring it here. We said we would come back. We said we would show up. And we're here. Now feel as Mother Earth, you feel the pulsation of her underneath your feet, and this amber colored light, strength and power, groundedness and support now moves up from Mother Earth, up your soles of your feet, all the way up to your heart, and anchors there in the heart, mixing and merging with the energy of the higher realms. And now I invite you to take this energy from your heart and expand it out, connecting your heart to the heart of everyone on this call this evening, creating a grid of light. Each one of us is a puzzle piece in this puzzle. Each piece is important. Each piece has a role to play, a very unique role to play. And so feel our connection and our love and our gratitude that the others on this call showed up tonight, said yes. And that our grid tonight is strengthened by each yes. Each and every one of us, no exceptions, has a role to play. It's unique. Your role is different than my role. It's different than someone else's role. It's yours. Each one of us is important, needed, critical for the grand design. Expand your gratitude to those on this call and to those throughout the globe that are part of our Awakened Life community. Here, supporting the work. Make no mistake, this cannot happen without you. The higher realms cannot work here on planet Earth without beings of light who agree to come, saying yes and not forgetting. Because of the law of free will, they can't interfere. Each one of you that has said yes makes it possible for the work to be done. And for Ma and for Ma's gang to assist in the plan, in the grand design. The ascension of Mother Earth. Mother Earth is moving now into a higher dimension, a fifth dimension, a planet of love and light. And you're needed, each one of you. And tonight, we're going to focus on devotion. How devotion makes you fearless. And so I invite you now, as we create a huge vortex of light here on the planet, to invite to our vortex our beloved Saima. And know that in the moment you call on Ma, Ma's there. Ma's in you. There's only one. Where else would she be? In you. And call on Ma's gang. We call on Sai Baba and Satua Baba Master Jesus and Saint Germain, Michael the Archangel, Babaji, Christ Maitreya, Shiva, Krishna. We call on the Magdalenas. We call on Mary Magdalena, on Mother Mary, and on Anna, Jesus' grandmother. And we invite all these beings of light to surround our vortex, each one of them pouring their own signature light into the vortex. We create a powerful vortex for them to use to serve us and to serve the planet. And I invite you this moment to take anyone who's needing extra prayer in your world and place them in the vortex. It could be a family member, a friend. You just say it in your heart and put them in, see them in the vortex. Imagine it. And I invite you to place yourself in there. Imagine yourself stepping into this vortex. It's very, very powerful vortex that has been created. And in your heart, making your intention for this time together. What would serve you the most? And now let us move into offering Diksha first to ourselves. We'll lead through that. And then we'll move into offering Diksha to whoever you wish on the planet. You can offer to the entire planet, to a particular person, a group of people. So we'll offer it twice right now. Your arms extended. Allow your Diksha to be activated in your hands. Very gracefully placing your hands over your head, connecting with your brain and pouring this light of Diksha, offering it to yourself. Om Jai Jai Sai Ma. Gently remove your hands. Just now offer Diksha to the world or to someone you know is needing Diksha this evening. Om Jai Jai Sai Ma. So welcome to our North American community satsang. For those of you who might not know who I am, although I think I know most of the people on this call, but my name is Mary Sise, and I've been a student of Saima since 2001. I first met Saima, I think it was 3 days after 9/11. And Ma was at a program, offering a program in New Jersey. And I can still remember from where I live, we drove down to New Jersey and the Twin Towers were smoldering. You could see it right across the river. And I often think of that time as similar to what we're going through now, a time of just great confusion and fear and just a really, horrific time for our country and for our world. And the uncertainty. And that's when and I remember I walked in the room, and there's a few things I really remember about this time, but there was a statue of Mother Mary, like probably 4 feet tall. And of course, my name's Mary, obviously, so I love Mother Mary. And when I saw that there, first I was like, what am I doing here? Like many of you probably when you first, like, the joke actually is that my daughter was out of college and she was home and she didn't have a job yet. And she wanted to go to New York to be an actress. And of course, I wanted her to get a job with health benefits. So you can imagine how well that went over. And so I thought my friend said there's a living saint in New Jersey. And I'm thinking, in New Jersey, no living saints go to New Jersey. And anyway, I'm Catholic. Like, our saints are dead. So like, what's this? I had no idea what I was getting myself into. So like maybe some of you when you're here. So anyway, my kids often say I didn't think I needed a guru, a saint in my life. I thought my daughter did. So my other daughter said that's exactly why my mother needs a saint in her life. So that started my journey with Ma. And it's been a pretty wild drive. And some of you know some of my stories, so I won't go into all of them. But that's how I started, and it's interesting for me that here we are now in this other really crazy time on the planet. And when I think of where I was then versus where I am now, and how I'm responding and how I'm capable of serving now versus then, it's just not even the same person. So when Heather asked me about teaching tonight, we set this date. Of course, I didn't pay any attention to the date in terms of what the date is, and we came up with the topic that devotion makes you fearless. And why I chose that topic is because it's what Ma has said about Mary Magdalena. And as you all know, I'm involved very much in that program. And the devotion, it was Mary's devotion to Jesus that made her fearless. And I never had thought of devotion in that way. But if those of you who have children, or those of you who you would do anything for them. You would go through fire for them, right? Like that's what devotion does. You couldn't stop Mary Magdalena. And when you think about what a role model she is for us, maybe Heather, you could put her picture up so we can all look at it. Those of you who are Magdalenas on this call, just pour Magdalena energy out to the whole group so they all can feel even amplified, this energy of Mary Magdalena. And I invite you to look in her eyes. Just breathe in as I take you a little bit on a journey of what it must have been like 2,000 years ago when she said yes, with her devotion, She served Master Jesus. 2,000 years ago, women weren't allowed to do anything. If a man in court said somebody did something that had value, if it was a woman saying it, it had to be two women had to say what one man could be taken for his truth. Women couldn't, they always had to walk behind the men. They were granted no rights. You didn't have an opinion. You didn't go out. You stayed with your family. And yet Mary, when she met Jesus, Master Jesus, she knew. She knew this was her master, and she supported him. She walked with the other disciples, and this was unheard of. And Jesus taught her many things that the men weren't even taught. And some of it was because Mary herself was a very high level initiate, and she had a role to play in this grand design, the balancing of the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And she had to play her role in a way where she knew so much, but she had to kind of keep it down because of the times. Yet her devotion to Master Jesus, she didn't waver. She was with him throughout the crucifixion. It was Mary and Jesus' mother and a few others that were there when he was crucified. She never left. How did she have the courage to do this? And Ma had said it was her devotion that made her fearless. And what many people don't know, or what many people don't know, is that night, Holy Thursday, this night of the Last Supper, this was the start of the events, okay? So, and it was this night, Holy Thursday, in the liturgical calendar we celebrate tonight, the Christian. It was at that point, was it when Mary, the oil in Mary's alabaster jar, and she put oil on the feet of Master Jesus, and she anointed the body. And what she was really anointing it for, we know now, was his death. She knew what was to come, and she didn't waver so that he could play his role in the grand design. I've heard Ma say that in Jesus, the blood of Jesus's body, put here on the earth, brought the energies of ascension. And Mary was there with him. Her eyes, she was fully in her body, in her eyes, looking at Master, supporting Master. What did Master need? She played her role. So she anointed him tonight on Holy Thursday. Then he went through, most of us know the story, the crucifixion, the brutal beating, the scourging, the crucifixion. And then she was there when they took him off and anointed the body for burial. We also know that she was the first person that saw Jesus in the resurrected body. And what must it have taken for her to go to the tomb that early in the morning by herself? Women didn't do that. As Ma said, it was her devotion that made her fearless. Her devotion to her role in the grand design. And then, as many of you know, the Christed energy began. The divine feminine had to be dormant at the time. But there was to be a time, 2,000 years later, when this would rise again. And that's the time we're in now, where we're balancing the masculine and the feminine for ascension of planet Earth, Mother Earth, the divine feminine, for this time we're in right now. So can we put everybody back up for a second, Heather? So my question for discussion tonight, like when I hear that story, or when Ma shared that, and I know Mary's story, of course, we talk about the story, it was for me is, am I fearless in my role in the grand design? You know, each one of us has a small story, like our little story. Like Mary could be, I was a Jewish woman, grew up, nobody let me go to do what I want, yada, 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 yada. You know, I'm a woman, I must be stupid. That was her small story, because that was her childhood, we could say, probably in that time. You guys stay home. The men, only the men could go to certain parts of church. Only the men could do this and that. That was the small story. And each one of us, we all have a small story. This happened to me, and by the way, yada, yada, right? What's your big story? What's your big story? Like, her big story is this. And it didn't matter to her that anybody else admired her. She certainly didn't care what her relatives thought, right? She just went for it, her big story. She didn't listen to all the women who told her, get back here and, you know, make dinner. What's your big story? What are you devoted to? Like, am I devoted to my big story, or am I staying with my little story? And what's holding me back? What am I afraid of? Am I devoted to my reason for being here? And we know each one of you has a reason for being here, or you wouldn't even be anywhere on this call. You wouldn't be in this community. It's impossible. Why would you be, you know, energy? One thing I know about energy, it doesn't lie. It doesn't lie. And I can tell you, I've seen that over and over from doing Journeys of Profound Healing. Like, the person this person picked for this role it's like a perfect match. Over and over and over, we would see it. Energy doesn't lie. There's no mistake that you're in this vortex, shall we say. And are you playing your small story? What are you afraid of? What are you really afraid of? I know those are questions I just asked myself. You know, can I really step into my big story? Why soul came? And I didn't spend a lot of time trying to like figure out why my soul came. I just did one step in front of the other as something new unfolded for me. And I made a choice, yes or no. And the choice that worked was the one that was yes. Yes. Yes, Ma. I'll do that. Yep. Or an idea came to me. Crazy, like big ideas. No idea how I was going to do them. Big ones. And then I would let's make it happen. And step by step. So if you're waiting for the burning bush or some big honking flip chart to come down and tell you what your life story is going to be, get over it. It's not going to happen, guys. I've waited. Don't wait. There's no bus that's going to ride by with a billboard with your story on it, your big story. It's you putting one foot in front of the other for whatever's in front of you right in this moment. Right in this moment is the next step of your big story. In the choices you make, in where you're putting your attention. Each one is a step. So with that in mind, how about we break into breakout rooms by the power of Miss Heather, who has a powerful computer there. She's going to put you in a breakout room, and I'd like you to just be with someone and just share, what can I take out of this that'll get me to the next level? Like don't get too much into your little story, no stories, you know, but like, if I were living my big story, what's my next step? What do I know I need to do? What do I know is my next step? And maybe part of me is afraid. It's okay. It's okay. That's your little story. What is it? How can I expand my stepping into my role in the grand design, in the big story that we're all in? Okay. So Heather will do that. We'll give you about 3 minutes each. So 6 minutes, and we'll tell you when it's halftime to make sure you've switched.
So you want 2 people in a room?
Yeah. How many we have on the call? Yeah.
86.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do 2 people in a room. That way you can get to know somebody well. Okay. Bye.
So there'll be a little button that pops up on your screen. Just make sure to hit that button to join the breakout room.
You gave me one. You want me to do it?
Sure, you want to?
Do you want me to?
You count.
I get to go with somebody. I wonder who's got me. Okay. Bye.
Bye. Saima, everyone's coming back.
All right. I love when they pop back in.
Yeah, me too.
It's funny. Gallery view. Is everybody back? Oh, dear.
Almost.
All right. We're looking at time here. All right. So what I'd like to do, because we're a little short on time, does everybody know how to use the chat? What I'd like you to do is click on the chat and just write in there, is there something you became aware of that would be helpful to share with others? Because I'm all about giving somebody else an idea of like what they might do next. Like, anybody come up with any good ideas? Ooh, somebody's a scratchy place. Anybody come up with any good ideas that they want to put in the chat that they became aware of, and that, you know, something that might serve another person? Doesn't have to be super profound. Just put something in there, those of you. Who's got something? I need to getting a schedule together to self-inspired meditation. All right, Elizabeth, openness. Yeah, thanks, Yelena. I'm creating all abilities choir online. Drop where you feel. Show up authentically. Allow. Good one, Matt. Come on, who else has got something? What are you going to do? What can serve it? Appreciate synchronicities. Yes. Stick to what's important. Oh my God, Peter, that's great. I was working on that today. Like, there's so many ways I can get off track. Oh my God. And I just like turn that off and focus and get things done. Sending teachings out with light. Excellent. Meditating raised my vibration. I became aware that my writing reaches 5,000 people. And that's an amazing platform. Yes, Tony. Build the energy, not diffuse it. That is so important. This is a time when you know you're all energy and you get to focus it. The more you leak it, like, how many of you could raise your hand, or you could like pretend I'm not talking to you. How many of you people leak energy with your friends, blah, 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 either gossiping or solving their problems, which, by the way, they don't listen to you anyway, or your relatives? Who does that? Like, you just leak your energy. Before you know, the day's over and you haven't done anything that your soul has wanted you to do. Does anybody do that, or that's just, I see Arlene. Is it just Arlene who does that? Let's see. Okay. Elizabeth raised her. All right, there's a couple who are fessing up over there. Okay. Let's see. Keep raising my figure sheet. Find your inner song and harmonize with your higher self. Thanks, Sue. Karen, this is a good one. When you feel an impulse, act on it. Oftentimes, especially like after meditation or something, you get an impulse to do it. Don't squelch it. Don't listen to your small story, your little voice. Don't listen to your relatives either. They know the old you. They're from that level. This is the bigger story. Stepping into my room to serve that my community and be the brightest light worker from the inside out. Good. Follow your intuition. Love, and in love there is no fear. Yes, Barbara. Compassion to all. Follow your inner call. Good. Conscious awareness, body, empathy. Step in my power. Don't be afraid of your power. You know what, Susie, I'll tell you a funny story. I was watching, I was listening to something. You guys remember or know of Abraham Hicks? I used to listen to them all the time. But so some lady said something about, oh, I'm afraid of my power to them. They weren't having it. They said, it's not that you're afraid of your power. You're afraid of people not approving of you. That's it. And I thought, that's something about that that's true for me sometimes. You know, we say we're afraid of our power, but we're really afraid of somebody not liking, approving, or what we're doing. So don't ask them. Okay. Step into let's see, embody empathy, appreciate the soul's calling, and be still and be enough. Listen to your inner calling, compassion, follow your impulse. Make sure you let your friends know that you are loved and appreciate them. Yeah. Oh, here's a good one, Holly. Stop comparing myself with everybody else. Trust, pause, listen in the stillness. The stillness is really important. That's where your intuition comes through. And when you're all limbic and frantic, go do something else, because your soul, sometimes I do this thing where it's like WGOD, like a radio station, and God is on AM, almighty mode. It's not on FM, fear mode. You can't get there from here. You've got to switch your station. And then that's why meditation, but the problem is when you're so frantic, it's sometimes hard to meditate. Have you noticed that? Joe, you've got to get out, run, do something, and quiet yourself down so that you can get to that space in your heart. And the soul doesn't say, hey, don't go there. It says, come this way, come this way. And it's quiet. Masa's light doesn't force. It's quiet. Okay. It will call you. Let's see. Be visible in your truth. Pause. Listen. We had that one. The more I expand and share my expansions, the more others around me expand. It's true. Being fully, or actually, it might not be true, because sometimes the more you expand your light, others contract. Don't impose your light. Always be your light. Okay. And what other people do, that's their business. You know, sometimes Ma walks in a room and with all this light, and people are like, oh, she didn't look at me. You know, like everybody's got a thing. Or you know what you go through sometimes when you go up for darshan, like, oh my God, is she going to see that I had a cheeseburger last night? How many of you think that? Okay. So, Heather, okay. So sometimes big light, others contract. You shine anyway. Shine anyway. Just don't intrude with that, because the light doesn't intrude. Just be the light. Another good metaphor right now for what we're going through is to be devoted to your light. You're like the pole in the merry-go-round. Just stand there and be the light. Everybody's going around you. Don't come out of your pole to be on the horse. Get in the middle. Okay. Fully public about the talent and light that I have to share. Oh, Jacques, I've heard you sing. And let the world know I exist. Yes. Spend more time in nature. Yes. That's, you know, especially if you're just frantic, go out in nature. Just hug a tree. Just do things to soothe your limbic brain. And we're going to be working with you on some more things for that. We have some ideas of some stuff we're going to put out, the teachers for you, okay, to quiet down your limbic brain. All right, before we move into final closing, so if we think about devotion, one of the most devotional things you can do is arti, is to offer arti. And just this week, Lalita got a call from Saima about arti. And so we have it, and we wanted to, just a few minutes, we'll play it for you. You can hear Ma's voice and Ma's invitation to us now to do arti. So we'll talk with you a little bit after. Well, no, let me talk with you about it now. And then from there, we're going to move into what I consider the most devotional song on the planet. Every time I listen to it and I think of Ma and how grateful my life is, just so beautiful since Ma has been in my world. And so we're going to, so what I'm going to tell you about Arti, Ma's going to speak. You'll hear Ma's voice. And Ma's asking us at 6:45 when Ma's not asking. Well, I'll give you the details of what we're going to do. 6:45 for all of you who want to take this on. That's when, in the morning, 6:45 Mountain Time. So for all us New Yorkers, that's 8:45. That's a little better. 6:45 is when the ashram offers arti. So we're going to all try to do arti at the same time to serve the planet. Okay? So next what we'll do is we'll play that for you. Close your eyes and hear Ma's voice and Ma's invitation for you to join in this arti around the globe. Which, again, you do this every day. It is one of the most devotional practices you can do, you can offer. So arti, and then we're going to move into the song, and then we'll close our evening. And so I love you. Thank you. Heather, you're on. JJ.
Since the 1st of January, I have been doing arti. I cannot say I've done arti only to Baba, only to gurus, or only to. And one thing I've noticed, when arti finish, I take it from a little lamp oil. For no reason, every night I add a little bit of oil in my dipak. And for whatever reason, I start to notice that the light, the flame was bigger. And this night, the flame is bigger because I noticed that the keys are increasing in the world. And then the size of the flame is constant until it becomes bigger again. This is a very big announcement to me. So what you all could do is do arti. All of you, if possible at the same time. Arti, arti, arti. And when you stop arti, leave a little wick for the day, for the night, and use it again. At a point, this is going to be a sacred geometry expansion. As a triangle, as a circle, and all together will serve the planet even more. Om Titi Simon.
Just to know you, just to live inside your grace, just to feel you. In my heart, at this time, in this place, there is peace in every breath, as my mind dwells on your name, finding peace, peace within, treasure of bliss, never ends. just to know you, just to live inside your grace, just to feel you. In my heart, at this time, in this place, there is peace in every breath as my mind dwells on your name, finding peace, peace within, treasure of bliss, never ends. Sase, sase, meine Name, meine Name, Samare, all besrar, near by, all besrar, near by.
Have a very blessed week, a blessed Holy Week. Please join us for our Easter services with Lucinda and Achuktanan this weekend. We'll be sending more information out about the Arti thing. This song is called Just to Know You, No Trick, by Peter Cater and Sanam Kaur, if you're interested in that song. And it was wonderful spending the evening with you. Many blessings to each and every one of you. Drop this small story. Let's all step into our big story of why we really came. Om JJ Saima. Blessings.
Om JJ Saima.
Om JJ Saima.
Om JJ
Om
Saima.
JJ Saima. Om
Om
JJ
JJ
Saima.
Saima.
Om
Om JJ
JJ
Saima.
Saima.
Om JJ Saima.
Om JJ Saima.
Om
Om
JJ
JJ
Saima.
Om JJ
Om
Saima.
JJ Saima.
Om JJ Saima.
Om JJ Saima.
Hi, Heather.